have seen in many places housing which has been developed under government influences, but I have never seen any projects in which governments have played their part, which have fountains and statues and grass and trees, which are as important to the concept of the home as the roof itself. In serving his vision of the truth, the artist best serves his nation. Our goal is not the victory of might but the vindication of right, not peace at the expense of freedom, but both peace and freedom, here in this hemisphere, and, we hope, around the world. God willing, that goal will be achieved. This country cannot afford to be materially rich and spiritually poor. And if we cannot end now our differences, at least we can help make the world safe for diversity. For, in the final analysis, our most basic common link is that we all inhabit this small planet. We all breathe the same air. We all cherish our children's future. And we are all mortal. We celebrate the past to awaken the future. A nation reveals itself not only by the men it produces but also by the men it honors, the men it remembers. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. The life of the arts, far from being an interruption, a distraction, in the life of a nation, is very close to the center of a nation's purpose, and is a test of the quality of a nation's civilization. I can imagine a no more rewarding career, and any man who may be asked in this century what he did to make his life worthwhile, I think can respond with a good deal of pride and satisfaction: I served in the United States Navy. What really counts is not the immediate act of courage or of valor, but those who bear the struggle day in and day out. Not the sunshine patriots but those who are willing to stand for a long period of time. We have become more and more not a nation of athletes but a nation of spectators. I have a nice home, the office is close by, and the pay is good. When I ran for presidency of the United States, I knew that this country faced serious challenges, but I could not realize, nor could any man realize who does not bear the burdens of this office, How heavy and constant would be those burdens? Let us not despair but act. Let us not seek the Republican answer or the Democratic answer but the right answer. Let us not seek to fix the blame for the past. Let us accept our own responsibility for the future. But I think the American people expect more from us than cries of indignation and attack. The times are too grave, the challenge too urgent, and the stakes too high to permit the customary passions of political debate. We are not here to curse the darkness, but to light the candle that can guide us through that darkness to a safe and sane future. And we must face the fact that the United States is neither omnipotent or omniscient, that we are only 6% of the world's population, that we cannot impose our will upon the other 94% of mankind, that we cannot right every wrong or reverse each adversity, and that therefore there cannot be an American solution to every world problem. For I can assure you that we love our country, not for what it was, though it has always been great, not for what it is, though of this we are deeply proud, but for what it someday can, and, through the efforts of us all, someday will be. But however close we sometimes seem to that dark and final abyss, let no man of peace and freedom despair, for he does not stand alone. Never before has man had such capacity to control his own environment, to end thirst and hunger, to conquer poverty and disease, to banish illiteracy and massive human misery. We have the power to make this the best generation of mankind in the history of the world, or make it the last. We must use time as a tool, not as a couch. We must think and act not only for the moment but for our time. Dante once said that the hottest places in hell are reserved for those who in periods of moral crisis maintain their neutrality. It is an interesting biological fact that all of us have, in our veins, the exact same percentage of salt in our blood that exists in the ocean, and, therefore, we have salt in our blood, in our sweat, in our tears. We are tied to the ocean, and when we go back to the sea, whether it is to sail or to watch it, we are going back from whence we came. We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained, and new rights to be won, and they must be won and used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will become a force for good or ill depends on man, and only if the United States occupies a position of preeminence can we help decide whether this new ocean will be a sea of peace or a new terrifying theater of war.